of the year looks like. But I guess just like, you know, with that kind of whole picture, just focusing on the first 3 months, because, you know, like we do have, you know, like if it doesn't work, we've got the minimum effective dose. I guess with that, like, you feel like getting at least one listing is kind of the minimum. I guess, like, what do you feel is kind of like the maximum? Like, I guess with that structure, like, who do you really think you could become?
I mean, I think I could, you know, become a listing dominant machine in the Richmond, Virginia area. I mean, the more I talk with people, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people. There's definitely some other, you know, dominant agents in the area, but I don't feel like I need to step out in confidence and be the one who's gonna, you know, they're not necessarily my competition, but I've got something different. I've got something better to offer. I've got a compelling reason why these people should work with me rather than these other guys who are doing their 50 listings a year or whatever. You know, I feel like I can step in with that crowd, and it's going to take more than just leveraging. I feel like it's going to take that next step, that leap of faith that give me the exposure that a lot of these people who've been doing it for 20, 30 years it's not even on their radar to do a lot of what I feel like I've already been doing, and then what I can do, and what, you know, you all can help me do.
I'm with you. And I guess to like get to that, you know, a dominant listing agent, you know, and to get to that kind of like you said, the $1 million at the 7-figure GCI mark, I guess, like, to get there, like, are you ready to think like one?
Yes, with a little bit of fear behind me.
Good, because that's what's going to drive you. You know, and that's what's going to get you up at 4:30 in the morning like Ryan. You know, because without that, there's no growth and there's no comfort zone. You know, like, right. You're just staying where you are. And when you stay where you are, you'll never really see what you are truly capable. When it comes down to that, Phil, you know, to really be the full potential of what you know you can, are you ready, set, go?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure? Because you don't have to, you know? Like, you could just keep doing things the way you are.
Right. No, for sure. No, I'm very interested in giving this. I'm, you know, cutting to the chase.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna let.
Very interested for sure. Right? I mean, who isn't interested in getting to 7 figures? I guess the real question is, like, are you ready to go out of your comfort zone and do something you've never done before to get there?
Yeah, I mean, I took that leap 3 years ago, which was a bigger. I often liken the leap of faith I took 3 years ago to step away from a comfortable job to something that was uncertain, and I feel like even the leap of going out on my own from the team was not even as big a leap as that. Now I feel like this leap, and you know, like, yeah, can I really afford this? Like, I don't know. Like, and I knew Ryan's story about you know, hiring a driver is like.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, I agree with you. And as well, I just, you know, like, I'll remind you, you made, like, a lot of agents forget this, but, like, you made $260K last year.
Yeah.
Like, this is 2% and change of your yearly income.
But it's hard because I just sent off $46,000 to the IRS and the state to prepay my taxes that I did an extension to, like, that's the hard.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard. literally just sent that money out last night. So it's like, oh man.
Oh yeah, and does that mean you're never going to send out money again?
No, not at all.
I'm with you, and as well, like that makes sense as well, because if the money's, you know, if the money's also pushing the comfort zone as well, like that makes sense, because if you're already making the money where 5K or 6K wasn't, if that was already a drop in the ocean, we wouldn't be here in the first place, right?
Right, for sure.
Okay, and so when it gets to that stage, like just like you mentioned, like there's always going to be that spattering of fear, of being a little bit scared. And I guess like now that you are at the edge of your comfort zone, and now you are at that edge, I guess, like, do you want to do it?
I think I do.
You think?
I feel like well, exactly. I knew you were going to ask me that. I'm just, I'm right now because I'm getting into the practical because I'm about out of time and I've got to jump into actually the business of selling houses. So I gotta set this aside for a minute, give it a little bit more thought and consideration.
At this stage, Phil.
Yeah.
You got to pull the trigger, buddy. Because you go back to the area, go back to the place, go back to the environment where you've made all your decisions from. Again, like, what are the standards out there? Like, is that the area where there are the tools to go and hit 7 figures? Or is it with us?
Right.
Because again, like, it's completely natural, right? And it makes sense because we all do make decisions based off our perspective, right? When it comes to going out there and starting a team and making that transition, it's like, you make your decisions based off the same perspective. You're going to get the same results. Like, it's the definition of insanity, right? And so now that you are at the edge of your comfort zone, going from team to solo, and having those people beneath you, like, who's the only person who can make that decision to realize their potential?
That's me.
Okay, and now that you are at the edge of your comfort zone, are you ready to have the responsibility of stepping out of it so you can grow on your shoulders?
Yes.
Okay. You sure?
I believe so.
Yeah, you feel good? Feel a little bit scared?
Yes.
Okay. Let's seal this up before you change your mind. So are you for the 6K or the 2,200 a month, Phil?
Sorry, I have to text a client really quick because I'm going to stop late. I'm going to. I have to look at a couple of things to see what my cash flow, because of literally the big outflow that happened last night with my taxes. I like the idea of 6K because it seems like it saves me $600. So,
sure.
I just have to look and see things coming down the pipe.
Good. And what we can certainly do there is, if you wanted to get started on the 2,200, and then if you wanted to upgrade to the 6K, if you do have the funds available, That's certainly something that I can do, and it won't cost you the extra $600. So if you want to save that, that's something that we can do there as well. But again, the issue at this stage, right, the issue is not necessarily the $600. The issue is making the commitment in the first place. And as well, every inch that you give yourself after the edge of this phone call, that gives you an inch to kind of go back on, is going to be another barrier in your way of hitting that million that you're capable of. And so I guess whichever one it is today, it's are you ready to make that commitment?
I believe I'm ready, but I'm not. I don't believe I'm ready right here, right now at the end of this phone call.
Oh, sure, and you never will be. And again, the issue here is just stepping out of your comfort zone. Because again, if this was easy, you would already have done it. And because one of the first things that you mentioned on this call today is the fact that really stepping out there and being solid, stepping into that leadership position. And when it comes to getting leads, when it comes to anything, that you haven't made the investment in anything yet. And so it makes sense that you're not ready at the end of this phone call, because you weren't ready at the start either. With anyone. And now getting to this stage, this is probably further than you've kind of been with anyone else. And the fact that, you've mentioned obviously been following Ryan Serhant for a while, and you feel like this would work for you. Having the plan, the accountability, the support to become that, listing dominant agent. It makes sense that you're not ready. But then again, as coaches, if you only ever did what you were ready to do, and especially with me as an athlete, right, as well, I played some sports. So if I stopped whenever I wanted to stop, how much potential would I have left on the table, and my coach would be able to get out of me. And so the issue is less to do with you being ready, and again at this stage, this is not to do with where you are right now, because we're all accumulation of what we've been in the past. And to get to the next level, you have to do something different. Yeah. And so with that, we're only talking $2,200. That's you mentioned, you get one listing, and that's $12K. So it makes sense that there's the fear. But when you reach the edge of your comfort zone, it doesn't matter whether there's the fear there or not, because either way it will be. It's to what you do in it. So we can have this wrapped up in 5 seconds, man. It just depends whether you're ready to step up.
Right.
Because I can tell you what Ryan would do, and I can tell you what I do, and I can tell you what you need to do to get to where you want to go. So are you open to seeing what Ryan can do for you?
I'm open to it.
So let's go. Because right now, Phil, I know for a fact, if you don't do it with me on this phone call, you'll never do it. And I know that for a fact. So what's it going to be, brother? $2,200? Are you in or are you out? 7-figure Phil is calling, baby. What's your billing address?
So if I commit to the monthly plan, if I'm after a month, what if I'm, is there an opportunity to exit before the second month or third month?
doing 1 month of this, buddy, would not serve you.
Yeah.
And I can already tell that that's your brain trying to make a way to justify taking less action. Taking half a swing at the plate. And it's a full swing that's needed. So what I can do is I can save you the $600 if you wanted to go for the full 6K, and start with the $2,200 a day. But again, I'm not asking you to make a $2,200 investment. This is a $6,000 investment. This is a big boy decision. Because anyone can get to, in this game, without making any investment in yourself, anyone can get to, 200-300K a year. Like, you can get there with Tom Ferry's training at $300 a month. But to get to the real high levels, where 3% of realtors make 90% of the money, that takes a big boy decision. And so I guess to create that future is 2% of your yearly income, 10% of what you just sent off to the tax man. Is that honestly too much to ask? Because if it is, I don't think that level's for you, buddy. Do it. Phil, just do it, buddy. You're right here. Just pull the trigger. Trust me on this.
You're really good at your job, Josh.
Ready, set, go, Phil. Ready, set, go. Are you in? This is all it's going to take, buddy. You do this, I will not let you down. Ryan will not let you down. Do you know how many people wet their pants at this stage and don't do it? Do you know how many people? You've already got the social media. You already sold 50 homes last year. What can you do with Ryan Serhant? Imagine what is on the other side of this comfort zone, buddy. Ready, set, go, my friend. What is your billing address, Phil?